Live from the Texas Cheerlickers Studios, it's In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
Thank God for the Spurs. Good Lord. Welcome to the Cowboys Post Show, brought to you by Price Chevrolet and GC Services Roofing and Construction. Rudy J, Jose Bouquet, a.k.a. Buki. Mike is connecting as we speak. And what a letdown. But my take on this whole thing was going to be, this is what happens when you don't have a balanced, complementary football team. At some point, the offense isn't going to have it. And then when that happens, with as bad as this defense is, you get Jacoby Brissett coming into Arlington and pulling his pants down and taking a big, fat, wet diarrhea dump number 2 all up in Jerry's world. I mean, it really comes down to that, man. This is just not – it's not a good football team. It's not – they're not. And it's not – I'm not breaking news. I think we've known that. But when you have Arizona, then you have a bye, then you have the Raiders, you're like, oh, you know, we could look up and be 5-4-1. No. Now you're 3-5-1, and the bye week can't come at a better time. Did you bet money on this game, Jose?
No, but I did. I picked them in a contest. I picked the Cardinals in a contest, so I was.
Oh, good for you. Good for you, smart man.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I was about as ready to start this post game as Brian Schottenheimer was ready to coach this fucking game. I'm sorry, punch me. God Almighty, I'm here. God, what a beating. I forgot a certain connector. Had to get my connector connected, and now I'm ready to roll. How we doing, everybody? God Almighty.
We're lovely, man. I know you. I mean, you didn't miss much. I just told Jose and whoever's in here that at some point you were going to have a game where the offense doesn't have it to start the game, or pretty much through the whole game, and with this defense, it's going to end in disaster. Like, the offense isn't going to show up every week. It's just not possible, especially not with the average quarterback, an average running back, 2 okay receivers, one that decides to get 15-yard penalties in critical times of the game, fumbles. It was a mess. It was a mess, man. It was a mess.
Every Steelers fan in the world's like, ha, that right there.
That's why we let him go.
Right there.
That's why we let. Well, again, it didn't affect the game. But at the same time, it's like, and I'm nitpicking because, again, there was so much that went wrong, but that's just fresh on my mind. Like, what are you, regardless of the penalty, what are you celebrating? What are you taunting for? Get the ball to the referee as quickly as possible. Get your ass back to close enough to Dak Prescott to see what the next play call is going to be. But I'll give you the floor, sir.
Well, we said all week that everything was still right there in front of them. You got a 2-5 Arizona team. They're probably not going to have Kyler Murray, which at this point, and Aikman and Buck were saying this at the end. How do you go back to Kyler Murray? He's a little punk. At least Jacoby Brissett's professional and prepares for the games and doesn't get caught up in his phone and video games. And Kyler Murray's a punk. He's a very talented 5'0" little chump. And if I'm a Cardinal fan, I'm ready to go back to. I'm ready to stay with Jacoby. He's a professional. I know he's not gonna make the Pro Bowl, but he's gonna be efficient anyway. So we said all week they're getting ready to play a mediocre Arizona team that's 2-5. That should be better than its 2-5 record, but they can't hold leads.
They almost gave one up today.
And then so you got Arizona. You're averaging 40 points a game at home. You play Arizona, you're going to get their backup. You should beat them. Then you have a bye week to get healed up, and then you have the Raiders. And so there's no reason why you don't win these 2 games here with a bye week sandwiched in the middle. You're right back to where you felt good about things. But now this result tonight has changed everything. and I mean everything. And you said
You ready to throw in the towel, Paulo Creed? Throw the damn towel?
Yeah. You can't lose to the Cardinals like that. This was a full-blown meltdown by everybody involved. And it started with a jackass owner earlier today by going on with Stephen A. Smith and telling the whole fucking world, hey, I made a trade. Okay, what good does that do? So
we're going to do something. We're going to do something at the line.
Yeah. So
at the deadline.
Did you trade for Trey Hendrickson? Did you trade for Max Crosby? Because anything short of that makes you look like a fucking idiot now that you went out there and stunk the joint up. So it starts with the owner who can't keep his mouth shut because he's good buddies with Screaming A. Smith and talk shit about Micah Parsons too today, which you shouldn't be doing at this point. We should be way beyond this. And then your team shows up. Your coaches don't have them ready to play. This was the worst. This was the worst game for Schottenheimer tonight. His team was not ready to play. He made dumbass decisions to go for it on fourth down and long. It wasn't even like he was going for it on 4th and 1s. He passes up 2 field goals with the best kicker in the country on his team.
I didn't get that. I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all.
They got completely outcoached by the Cardinals. And you're rolling with a one-dimensional team here. And like you said, Rudy, eloquently, as I heard you as I was connecting, when you rely on one side of the ball, you're going to lose games on nights like this because you cannot expect the offense to hang 35 points up every damn night. This is not on Dak. Pickens, the penalty was dumb, but you're not even close to 500 without him. This is about a Dallas Cowboys team that has fielded one of the worst defenses in the history of their 60-year franchise. You know,
by far. And since we're talking shoddy, the one to go for it on 4th, and I guess it was 8 early in the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
I didn't, because it changes. It changes everything because after that you get that quick touchdown, and now you're only down 7, and it's a different mindset. It's a different part of the playbook that you're in. Down 10.
Yeah.
Versus down 7.
Yeah.
So I mean, we can pick Shoddy apart today. This wasn't Shoddy's best effort. At all.
His team wasn't prepared.
And that's on him.
And you know what else is on him? Matt Eberflus continuing to be the GD defensive coordinator. Okay, here's the thing. Here's how the general manager can make up for today. Well, he can start making up for today. You fire Matt Eberflus tonight. You cannot go on with him running your defense. Then you start releasing motherfuckers. You know, I don't know what this trade is. And he told Stephen A. Smith today that we might make 2 other trades. Okay, at this point, you ought to call the GMs back and say, never mind, I'm going to trade y'all George Pickens to get something for him because we ain't going nowhere. You know, and we're going to lose Pick anyway. He's a free agent for
you're not re-signing him.
So what you have to do in the morning is you fire Matt Eberflus, you promote anybody on the defensive staff, the defensive coordinator. They can't do any worse. You release 2 or 3 dudes. You pick up 2 or 3 dudes off practice squads, and maybe you make a trade or 2 tomorrow. I don't even care if it makes the defense better, Rudy. You have got to send a message to your team that we're serious, because that's not a serious football team out there continuing to run slapdick and Tweedledee at safety. And Deron Bland. And also, Jerry's had quite the day. You paid this man $90 million a month ago. Nobody on the planet thought you should have done that. You and I called that out from the day they did it. He was great he had 2 great months in the NFL 2.5 years ago. The pick 6 he had last week was a gimme. Anybody could have made that. He didn't do nothing. The ball went right to him. He is a stiff. Trayvon Diggs is a colossal pizza. They're not missing him, but he'll be back in a few weeks, I guess, although they probably want to trade him because they don't like him, and the Lord knows why he got hurt. He got the concussion because he fell down at home or whatever. It is a farce on defense. This might be the worst defense that they really have ever in the modern era. From Jimmy to Barry Switzer to Chan Gailey to Dave Campo to Bill Parcells to Jason Garrett to Yuck Wade Phillips all the way to now to McCarthy and on to Shoddy. This might be the worst defense they fielded in 35 years.
I'm ready.
That general manager bragging about trades today with his new best friend Stephen A.
I'm ready to take the might off of that. It's the worst defense they've ever had. There's no might.
They kept showing these stats tonight that I'm like, Jesus. And I've watched every game. I know they're horrible, but to see the numbers, it's just like, good Lord. Oh my God.
When you see it in black and white, your eye test tells you like this is bad. But then when you get the numbers, you're like, okay, my eyes weren't failing me.
It's like we went through a tornado and now we're seeing the death toll 3 days later. Dude, you see all the stats. The Cowboys were averaging 30 points a game going into this game. And yet they've still been outscored on the season. Think about that. They're averaging 30 a game, and they've given up more points than they've scored. You can't do anything with that on offense. I feel bad for Dak. I do. He's pressed for the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's made bad throws, but he knows it. He knows he has to hang 40 up or they're going to lose, and so that creates no margin for error. And like you said a second ago, you cannot rely on them to go 35 a game every week. The other teams get paid too. Eventually, you're going to get stopped. You're going to have crazy goofball turnovers like Javonte Williams had in the fourth quarter. And there's no room for anything. Even special teams, you cannot give up kick returns to the 40. You have to be locked down on special teams too when you're fielding SMU's defense. And that's what we got tonight. More of the same. The Cowboys have got to make changes tomorrow. I don't care if it results in changes. You have to send a message to your room, or you're going to wind up like Cincinnati, where you got guys on offense calling out their defense. Zach Taylor, the coach of the Bengals today, spent his entire press conference admonishing the guys on offense. We don't do that. You can't do that in public. You can't be. He's lost that team, and he's asked to go and get fired. You're going to lose the room if you don't make massive changes tomorrow.
If they haven't already.
Well, they may have already.
If they haven't already. And the other thing I'll say, man, it boils down to like I don't know about the trades, Mike, but at this point, play everyone.
Right.
At this point on defense, play everyone. The third string guy, the practice squad guys, because again, you're at the bottom. You're at the very, very bottom.
Right.
At what point do you stop doing the insanity routine and doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results?
I'm tired of it. And I don't know how much of it is – a lot of it's Eberflus's fault. This is his scheme. It's his design, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how much of it is his fault, but he's the coach. It starts with him. You can't fire 35 guys on defense.
No, it's impossible.
You have got to send a message. Eberflus has got to be thrown onto the sword. So you tell your fans, and most importantly, you tell guys on offense and special teams, we're not tolerating this. And it's just bullshit. I had two strong beers tonight, 10% alcohol content.
Ooh.
And I'm still as sober as it gets because I just watching that.
You couldn't get drunk. See if I can get hard.
Yeah, I couldn't get drunk.
Hey man, where's the rum?
Yeah, man. My daughter tonight came over and watched the first half with me. And she's 27 years old, my oldest daughter. And she asked me tonight, Dad, why?
Why are you sitting there cussing at the TV?
Yeah, pissed. Yeah, which is stupid. Because I get mad at myself when I let them
for getting mad. Right.
I should. But she's just like, this is boring. I go, yeah, you're right. It's utterly boring. And my daughter's like, why do you continue to watch this? And I go,
say, baby, it's my job.
I said, because Price Chevrolet of Pleasanton and GC Roofing and Construction of San Antonio are paying me and Rudy and Jose to do the post-game show. Because if we were not getting paid and we didn't have sponsors and a demand and people watching this thing, why on earth would I give two shits about watching that thing when they're not serious? If you don't make massive changes tomorrow, you are not serious. You're just not. You're not.
And is this trade real?
He said it. Watch, it'll be like some third string dude for some 7th round draft pick or something. Jerry set himself up to look like a dumbass by spilling the beans. Oh, we made made a trade. We made a trade. It might make 2 more tomorrow. And then you go out and you do that. So if it's not Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson or Buda Baker or Minka Fitzpatrick, you look like a dipshit. I mean, you really do. So Jerry needs to give us. We need to know who this is.
Shut up and let me answer.
We got to know who this is. They are so set up to look like morons. It starts with him, of course, as always. He's a.
I just learned. I started to show off while you were reconnecting.
Yeah.
I just said thank God for the Spurs because this is it's time to hit eject. Like for Cowboy fans, whatever city you're in, because they're all over the world, whatever city you're in, it's officially basketball season. This is not. I don't care who they get tomorrow. It's over. It's just not a good football team. And this is a classic case of you have a team in Brian Schottenheimer that believed they had this game won walking into the stadium. This is a classic case of the quote unquote, you're playing a 2-5 team. This is the classic case of it's a trap game. We're looking forward to going and seeing our side chicks on the bye week. It's Arizona. Jacoby Brissett's playing. We've got this game in the bag, and your team wasn't ready to play. That is a direct reflection of your head coach. I'm sorry. I know the players got to go out there and make plays or whatever, but you have to install the proper fear. You have to install the proper fear during the week and say, hey, I know Jacoby Brissett's playing, but let me show you this. They're 2-5, but I can show you 4 games where they were up double digits. And lost their game. So there's something here with this Arizona Cardinal team. I thought the Cowboys were going to win this game too. And the offense, they hit go and they were stuck in first. And you know what happens if the offense is stuck in first. The defense just sucks out loud. So at this point, I'm smiling through it.
Why do we have Brandon Aubrey? Release him tomorrow. You're not going to use him. You got the best kicker in the world. And you're going to Dan Campbell your way out there by going for it every 4th down, no matter what the distance is.
What are we doing?
You don't have Dan Campbell's defense. You don't have Dan Campbell's culture. They get out there tonight. The opening drive, they march right down the field. This looks like it's going to be a borer. I'm going to be chilling. Jose's going to be begging to start early because it's a blowout. Let's get over it. Let's get this over and go to bed. But he makes that decision to pass on the 3 and goes forward on 4th and long. And it's bad enough he does that early in the game, but then he draws up a shitty play. And that's on him. And that was a shitty play on the other 4th down he went for later in the game. That was not a first down getting play. So he didn't have him ready to play, and he got out coached and he outthought himself tonight.
And those are still pros. I don't care who you're playing. Those are still pros. And going forward on the 4th and long like that is highly disrespectful. And if you don't get it, you light a fire under that team over there that you think you got beat. And it builds momentum. And then thank God for the block punt touchdown. Because if not, we really probably would have been starting this early because it would have been worse than what it was.
Absolutely.
They didn't get an offensive touchdown to the second half. So all you can do is smile through it, man. All we can do is smile through it. 3-5-1 going into the bye.
Yep. Not good. I thought they were going to win.
Me too. I did too. I'll pick.
And then they get Vegas in a couple of weeks. And I'm not saying they're a Super Bowl contender, but they're still in the thick of the playoff hunt. Now you have to reevaluate. The Cowboys have to make their minds up. And when I say the Cowboys, I'm talking about Jerry. Are you going to now change your mind on these big trades tomorrow? Although he's already announced he's made one, which tells me he's already turned it into the league office and it's done. Or else, why are you announcing this? It's ridiculous. But he's 83 and nothing would shock me. When he wakes up in the morning, he's got to make his mind up. Okay, am I so pissed off and embarrassed about last night that I'm gonna throw my hands up and just go forth as we currently are? Or am I so pissed off about last night, I'm going to make 5 trades today in a desperate effort to turn this thing around. So go with me on this. All right, let's say they trade tomorrow for Trey Hendrickson. They trade their 2 number ones for Trey Hendrickson. Then let's say they trade a 4th and Trayvon Diggs. I don't know. Throw in whoever else you want to for Minkah Fitzpatrick. Now I got Minkah Fitzpatrick at strong safety. I got Trey Hendrickson at right edge. You have a bye. Then you play the Raiders. Then you've got the Eagles and Chiefs back to back. But the Chiefs on a short week. And then you got the Lions. I mean, look at the schedule, man. After the Raiders, Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, Chargers. You're the underdog in all of those.
That sounds like 4 losses.
You're the underdog, except for the Raiders game. You're the underdog at every single one of those games. And the Chiefs are going to come in here on Thanksgiving desperate because their record's not great.
They're not playing well.
They're going to wax the Cowboys' asses.
And and they, you got a bunch of guys that don't. Hey, remember, you got that red, white, and blue, those stupid stripes in the middle of your helmet. Even no matter, you could tell Arizona, hey, this is the Cowboys. Let's kick their ass. Like, no matter how bad you are, teams want to beat you. There's a pride in beating the Cowboys, even if they suck.
Well, the Cowboys invite most of it upon themselves because they act like they've done something. They ain't done shit in 30 years. My daughter's 27. She was born in 1998. They haven't even sniffed a conference title game. To hell with Super Bowl. They haven't been to the conference championship game since 1996. And that was in January 96. It was early in 96. It was technically the 95 season. But I'm the guy that said this thing was going to win 6 games. And I might still turn out to be right.
Well, they got 3. Yeah, they might get 3 more.
They might get 3 more.
I had them at 9 and 8.
But if they make multiple trades tomorrow, they bring in big name pass rusher, blah, blah, blah. They bring in somebody to play safety. They get Wanye Thomas back in a couple of weeks. They get Trayvon Diggs back in a couple of weeks. God help me. That's where we are, where it's like, well, we got Trayvon Diggs coming back. Then you got the Aggie, Donovan Wilson, your starting strong safety. He hadn't played in 2 weeks. He'll be back at some point. Jerry is not going to mail in this season. He's just not. He's not going to do it. The pride won't let him. So that's fine. Don't mail in. Then bet the farm and go make me some trades tomorrow. Fire your defensive coordinator. Bring in some new bitches on defense. I don't care if they trade 7s for rando corners that haven't played in the league in 2 years. You have to make changes. You need new humans on defense somehow, somewhere.
The firing of Eberflus is going to depend on how loud the media is about firing him and how loud the fans are about firing him. And if it makes its way back to Jerry, there's no way he gets fired because his pride won't allow him to listen to us. His pride won't allow it. Like, even though in his mind, he knows he should, and he wants to right now, he wants to fire him. I could tell in the press box, he was hot, not press box, the owner box, excuse me. It's 2 different things. He wants to, he's pissed about it. But if all of us gang up on him, he won't do it. He won't do it. We told, hey, just sign Dak, get it out the way. Sign him. It'll be cheaper. Sign him. No, because you motherfuckers keep talking shit, so I ain't gonna do it till I'm ready.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that this is how a professional team is being ran. Like, you really gotta let that, like, we all know, but you let that digest. Like, oh, y'all talking shit? Y'all talking shit? I won't do nothing. And at some point, I know that's his dad and I know that's his boss. But at some point, Steven, do you just throw your hands up and you leave?
No.
Like, how do y'all why are y'all doing a big old Texas Live, Stephen A, Michael Irvin sit down? Like, y'all stink.
Rudy, did you read the Wall Street Journal piece on Jerry? The Cowboys are their side hustle. This is what
y'all
they do
stink.
for clicks.
What are y'all doing?
This is their side job. They don't care what you and I think about their side job. J-Rod is in here. They bring in anybody. It's still not going to help. No, but
that's not true.
It keeps your room from completely fractured. If you go trade for Max Crosby tomorrow, you can't tell me that's not going to help. That's going to absolutely help. You can't get any worse. It can only get better. So that's why I'm like, sure, go get Hendrickson. Go trade for Max Crosby or bring in anybody off the street. You cannot get, like Rudy said, hell, bring up practice squad guys. It can't get worse. A backup quarterback, a lifetime backup with a 2-5 record came in here and whipped your ass, and it was easy for them. And like you said, if it weren't for the block punt, which is a fluke, they run Dallas's ass out of the barn. Psychologically, you have got to protect your offense here from quitting because CD Lamb and George Pickens, these are high-priced, diva-ass wide receivers. And as soon as guys like that let it sink in that, oh, we suck, it's gonna get ugly before the end of the season because they're going to get fed up with bullshit. And veteran leaders on the offense. I mean, I don't know how Dak Prescott doesn't go to the Joneses and say, hey, man, I'm 32. I've got a rod and a steel piece of contraption in my foot. I know y'all pay me a whole lot of money, but I wouldn't mind winning a little bit here at the end of my career. And, yeah, I'm going to need y'all to do something on defense. You know, why doesn't he do that?
Blow up the whole thing. I trade everybody.
You're talking about mailing it in or going for it. I say go for it. You got 4 picks. You got 4 number 1 picks in the next 2 drafts. Trade 2 of them.
Only reason why I'm considering it is because they've done such a horrible job in the draft on the defensive side. Like, okay, we're missing on the defensive side in the war room. Mm-hmm. Let's go and trade for some people that we know can already play. But now I can see Max Crosby getting here or Hendrickson getting here and Minka Fitzpatrick getting here and going through 3 or 4 practices and being like, no wonder. Yeah. This is a shit show.
Yeah.
Because like it's like when guys leave and they go to another team and they're like, oh, we're not doing patty cake and playing duck goose after practice. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't all go and have beers after practice. Jerry doesn't fly helicopters onto the field. Your owner doesn't fly helicopter onto the field. This is real football. Oh shit. You know what I mean? So I can see those guys coming in. It's like it's gone past reload. There's reloading and there's rebuilding. We are at rebuilding. When I say we, I'm speaking of the Cowboys. It's time to rebuild. And if that means Dak, and I'm not saying that Dak sucks. If that means CD, I'm not saying CD sucks. There's a good 7 guys on this team that I love. But we're at that point where it's like even hell, in another sport, like, hell, yeah, we know LeBron's still really good, but should we move him and just start this thing over? I think that's something you have to consider at the end of the season. Obviously, you're not going to do that tomorrow, but at the end of the season, reloading is not working. Empty the clip and start this shit from ground up.
I agree with AJ in the chat. What is it going to kill Dak Prescott to say something publicly here?
It's just not in him. I get. Well, then he's a great dude.
Romo didn't do it either. What is it with Jerry and the fear of him? He's 83. He probably has a fucking diaper on because he has to stay up late for these games. He's 83. What are we doing? Why are we continuing to coddle him? And that's everybody. I get the Suns are probably not, they're just probably no better than he is. But why doesn't Dak Prescott say something? Why doesn't, a guy like Kenny Clark who got traded here? He didn't ask for this shit. Why doesn't he say something? Osa Odigizua, actual leaders on this team.
I like him.
Justin Ferguson, whoever. Why don't veterans start bitching about this thing? Wouldn't that be great for everybody? Even if you don't win any games, at least you're holding something accountable that has never been accountable, and that is the little man behind the curtain, and that's the 83-year-old that I referenced. Well, but yet everybody's afraid of him, and no one touches him.
No,
if you stand up to him, you end up in Green Bay. Ask Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Micah's going to go to the playoffs this year and have home games at Lambeau Field in January in the snow and games that matter. Micah Parsons ought to be, he's probably clapping his ass off tonight, which, by the way, Jerry threw him under the bus in that.
Yeah, what happened?
This game was so awful. It's like, this is all, I'm not sure what the point is, but so Jerry goes on with Screaming A. Smith today. Tells him, well, we made a trade. Okay. We've already agreed to a trade. We might do 2 more tomorrow. Okay. Besides that, though, you know, Micah, he throws Micah Parsons under the bus because Stephen A. Smith brings up remember when Micah laid on the training table?
Oh, yeah.
During practice? And Jerry threw Micah under the bus and said, you know, no one's ever done that in the 30 years he's been the owner. No one has laid on the training table like that and just mailed in a practice like that. All disrespectful. Through Parsons, they're worse than people's ex-wives, Jerry and Micah Parsons. Neither one of them will let that shit go. So he's throwing Parsons under the bus today. And then, of course, Stephen A. Smith asked him, you know, why are you such a distraction? You know, why are you always, you know, a pain in the ass? Why is it always about you? Quote from Jerry Jones. This is earlier today on Sirius XM NFL with Stephen A. Quote from Jerry. What you do is a little bit of my philosophy. Talking to Stephen A. how it's about getting attention and clicks and whatever. He goes, what you do is a little bit of my philosophy. Controversy. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Not serial killing. Not that, but controversy. The Dallas Cowboys probably have the kind of interest that we have in no small part because we stay out front and we stay controversial. When it gets slow, I stir that shit up. Fact. I just want to be relevant. I just want you to be looking at us. Now, I don't think that has ever kept us from scoring a touchdown. I don't think it has kept us from having a football player. I don't think it has ever kept us from having the financial wherewithal to go get a football player. What a fucking joke. They're the cheapest team in the league. Basically, me being a jackass has never prevented us from being able to get players. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
It's an absolute lie. You never spend in free agency. And how do we know it's because they get turned down?
I think that part of it is a lie.
Turned down by guys.
I think to think that it doesn't affect the play is a lie. Because again, what's the consequence? What's the consequence for what Pickens did tonight? What's the consequence for Javonte Williams?
Nothing.
What's the consequence?
The coaches are scared of Jerry too.
Yeah. What's the consequence for Terrence Steele getting paid and turning into an ultimate bust? What's the consequences when it's about when your owner keeps saying, as long as we're relevant and my family's making money?
I know.
That's the ultimate goal there. So it does affect your play.
And it's also a gigantic fuck you to the fans that want to do some winning.
That's all I'm saying.
Exactly
I hate being a broken record, but there's people in this chat, there's people that subscribe and are members of this show that have a good handful of family members that they'll never speak to again because they did X, Y, and Z. But yet you keep watching this shit. You keep buying merch for this shit. You keep going to games for this shit. You won't break up with the Cowboys, but you won't talk to your mom or your dad because they won't mind their business about how you raise your kids. Like, who sticks with this shit?
I don't understand why no one says anything ever. What's going to happen to you? Like, what's he going to do to Dak Prescott? Let's say Dak tomorrow, Dak, comes out and throws Jerry under the bus. What are they going to do? Bench Dak Prescott? No. What's going to happen if O.C. Odigizua comes out and says, I'm sorry. I mean, our defense sucks and our management has not done a good enough job fielding a competitive defense. What are they going to do? Bench OC? No, they're not. But everyone's afraid of him. It's bullshit. It's way beyond the bullshit point now. It's so bad. And I mean, this may come off harsh, but I don't think I'm wrong. The day we find out that Jerry Jones is dead,
ouch,
70% of the fan base will kind of be like, huh.
And you may even shed a thug tear too.
No,
you're gonna shed a thug tear too.
Golf clapping.
But is it going to be different with Steven?
That's how bad it is. Well, see, that's that, and of course, and the retort is probably not. Probably not. Shout out to Elijah, who became a new member today. Thank you for
Nice.
becoming a member. It's only $6.99 a month. You get all the exclusive access to all of our swag, all of our gifts, like stuff like that. Our in the building T-shirts, and you get to watch all of our members only shows, which we had one earlier today. Shout out to Guillermo, who has also become a new member tonight. So thank you for that, dude. Chris Silva's in the building. He donated 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, Chris. I mean, it's 99 cents, you know. That'll pay for air in my tire. I appreciate that. Or will it? What is it to get air in a tire now?
Free a quick trip.
Chris, thanks. Sure. Rosie's in the building with $2. Not a boys fan, just here to support. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, and half of us that are Cowboys fans wish we weren't. Luis Flores is in the building. Just Bob Saget. That's all he writes. We know what you mean by that. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. It's more of the same. See, because tonight, look, you're going to lose, man. The Chiefs are 4-4 or whatever they are. The NFL is hard. It really is hard. No one expects them to win all the games. Tonight, though, starting with this ridiculous interview that the owner does on radio, and then going into them not being ready to play, completely underestimating Arizona, zero respect, zero fear factor by Dallas at all, which you would think nobody in the NFL, as hard as it is to win every week, there should never be a team that doesn't have that healthy amount of fear every. It's a Monday night game, for F's sake, and you don't have appropriate energy for the game. That's some bullshit. And then all the way to the horrific play throughout the entire game. This tonight was Dallas Cowboys football in a nutshell. This was not hard-fought loss at Carolina. You know, Carolina's better this year, and you got gouged because your defense isn't any good. But no one questioned the effort. No one questioned the coaching. No, Jerry didn't get blamed after Carolina. Today was Dallas Cowboys football. 30 years of bullshit wrapped up into one big day, starting with the idiot owner all the way to the bullshit turnover at the end of the game. And this is what you get with them. This is who they are. This is what they do. It's never going to change unless things change when certain people are no longer with us.
Well, this defense is going to send them there early.
And Jerry goes to that big whorehouse in the sky. And Steven takes over officially. Maybe things will get better. But until then, whatever they do on that field is in spite of the distraction that the owner brings on a week-to-week basis by his own admittance on that radio program he did today. I stir shit up, stay relevant. And it's unfortunate that the Cowboys are relevant. It's unfortunate that they lead the world in television ratings. It's unfortunate that if the Joneses were to sell them, they'd probably get $18 billion for them. It's unfortunate that somebody so mediocre who basically treats this as a side hustle is worth so much, has so much attention, gets all of this relevancy that he cares so much about, in spite of my daughter, who's 27. She's never witnessed 2 playoff wins in 1 year. Never in her lifetime.
Mine's 29.
They get away with it, and they get away with it. It's I don't know what it is. I mean, it's 3 decades of the same shit. 3 decades.
Tres.
You know, look at Arizona. This is also a ragamuffin team in the NFL. They don't create distractions. They just don't have good football people. They're not on anybody's radar. They're one of the least relevant teams in football. But Jonathan Gannon, their coach, because at least when they have a coaching vacancy, they try and bring in the best possible guy available. And that guy creates a culture. He may decide not to go back to Kyler Murray because he likes what Brissett's doing. Franchise quarterback.
But you also, I hope he's smart enough to know that a lot of that has to do with who he was playing. But I digress.
He does. But the point is, they're 2-5.
3-5 now.
They're 2-5 going into the game. They've shit the bed 4 times in the fourth quarter. If the Cowboys were 2-5 and had blown 4 fourth quarter leads, they're not putting out that effort that Arizona put out tonight in the game. The Cowboys mail in the season.
Good point.
Because of that shit culture that begins with that 83-year-old idiot.
And I refuse to say his name because his name doesn't deserve to be said. But number 59, I don't know how in the world they found the worst middle linebacker that I've ever seen. He's never in the right place. He's the worst middle linebacker I've ever seen in my life.
How about Fowler?
No.
Who's 59?
I ain't
Thomas?
saying it. I'm not saying that
Okay,
piece of
fine.
shit's name. He's the worst. I've never seen a guy always.
Shit.
I'm like, dude, every time they slow-mo him and there's a first down thrown,
Yeah.
he's in the wrong. He's like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be back there.
Mm-hmm.
The tight, like you drop back in coverage, but you still playing a spy. What the fuck are you spying on 6'5", runs the 40 and 6'5" Jacoby Brissett for? What the fuck are you peeking in the backfield for? Get your ass back in coverage and cover the tight end underneath.
You're talking about Kenny Murray.
He's awful.
Yeah, he's awful. Dante Fowler's terrible.
He's
Murray's
old.
awful.
And Fowler pissed me off. I'm like, bro, you're hurt, but you got to take time out to do your sack dance, and then you fall to your legs and like, oh, I got to get up. You celebrating first? Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. And this is a double-digit vet.
Yeah. It's awful. Just terrible. All right, it's Cowboys post-game show presented by Price Chevrolet of Pleasanton. We do have some winners to talk about tonight on this show.
Who is that?
Nobody in uniform. My boys down in Pleasanton at Price Chevrolet, the official sponsor of tonight's Cowboys post-game show in Pleasanton, Texas. If you are looking to come buy a new Chevy or need quality auto repair, you've come to the right place down in Pleasanton at Price Chevrolet. That dealership has a team of experts who are standing by to assist you with anything you might need. Lots of those team members have been with them over 10 years apiece because they're good people and they know what they're doing and they get treated right. New and used Chevys for sale, Chevy service and repairs, Texas Chevy dealerships. There's lots of great ones all over, but ours, the official one, is down in Pleasanton, Price Chevrolet. And
I like going to those places like Price Chevrolet in Pleasanton because it's more of a family feel. And these prices are trying to poke your eyes out. Go and talk to those guys. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. We've had a couple of listeners go out and do business with them. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bam. Make sure you tell them In the Building sent you. Matt B does bring up a good point. I liked what I saw from Clowney.
Okay.
I thought he was decent.
It's because he's so talented. But he's played on 7 teams because he wears out his welcome.
He don't give a shit sometimes. He don't give me 3 things that you liked
about this game.
Yeah. It's a little test. Can you give me 3 things that you
I liked?
We've got it across what we hated. Give me 3 things that you liked. I want to see if you can get to 3.
It was nice to have Troy Aikman calling a Cowboys game.
Okay. He didn't even go on the field.
The kid that played the trumpet before the game, the national anthem, went to my high school.
Are you being serious?
Yeah. You asked for 3. You ask a lot, sir.
I can't give you 3. I was thinking about it right before we came on. I was like, let me find 3 positives, and I couldn't. Clowney's one. I liked what
player. Aikman called the game. I don't know.
Me neither.
I had Chick-fil-A for dinner during the game, so at least I ate well. Had the classic combo number 1 with the waffle fries and the chicken sandwich. I don't know. I can't. There's not anything. This was a full, from the owner to the last guy in the locker room that washes the chones. This was a full team debacle today, is what this was. Absolute full team debacle.
And why were there so many guys? Was there dust in the air? What was up with all the stormtrooper masks tonight? That's the type that type of shit.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I'm getting old. That's how I know I'm getting old. Shit in my 20s that I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That looks cool. When you suck, that shit bothers me. Like, what the fuck do y'all look like stormtroopers? Why
How do
y'all
you breathe with that over you?
Like, why? First of all, but that's what I'm saying. Like, lock in. We suck.
Yeah, why does Pickens wear a gator? That's weird.
And these guys drive me crazy. They drive me crazy.
I can't come up with 3.
It must have been so. Maybe they all had COVID. I don't know.
I doubt it.
And then you wear the America's team helmet, which makes you more the laughing stock.
They are America's team, and that's what's weird. That's what
they are.
Pisses me off because they don't deserve to be. But we know what it is. It's the reality show. They're the Kardashians of pro football, and that they get the train wreck people interested in watching them. And then they've got 10 million fans that have stayed with them through all these years, including the city we're based in, San Antonio.
More than that, probably more than that, man.
Yeah. Of the people in this town that say of the people in this city, that are NFL fans, 75% of them are Cowboy fans. The rest are just military transplants. You got more Cowboy fans in Harris County than you got Texans fans, Rudy. I don't know why.
Not even close.
I was born into this crap. I'm born in the county of what the home stadium is in. I was a Cowboy fan from day one. I was born into this garbage. I don't know why they continue to be the most popular team by a mile. It's not even close.
It might be 2 miles.
Chris Collinsworth said it again this year. If we could get Dallas every Sunday night, we would. But the NFL won't let us. I don't know why. I have no idea.
Well, shout out to Price Chevrolet and GC Services Roofing Construction.
Yeah,
they understand.
GC. They get it.
Understand.
Thank you, GC Services. How many roofs are we on to now? 24 roofs? 25 roofs?
I think we're at 24.
Okay, 24 people have had roofs redone with our boys at GC Services Roofing. GC brings us the Raise Your Roof play of the game. I guess, I need to ask Russ for some clarification. I don't think it has to necessarily be a Cowboys play.
But if it was, I say the punt block.
Okay. As far as okay, there's my third thing that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the punt block.
Sam Williams played hard.
Sam Williams played hard on special teams. Yay. He's been here 4 years. It's about time he did anything. It was church. It was at late third, early fourth. When was the church call I guess it was the Javonte Williams fumble. There's the play of the game. Arizona forcing the church. Buda Baker forcing the church. By the way, I saw 2 rumors. This is why the internet sucks. A rumor blew up early in the game, and I even texted Rudy this, but always it's on the internet. You need 7 sources to confirm.
You got to have 7.
Yeah. There were rumors. Somehow a rumor blew up that they had the guy that they traded for was Buda Baker.
I love him.
The Cardinals free safety. He's a dog.
I love him.
But I'm like, okay, I'll take that. But wait a minute, he's starting tonight. So that got immediately shot down. If they have an agreement to trade for Buda Baker, he's not going to play for the Cardinals tonight. They would hold him out of the lineup. Then in the second half, it blew up on the internet. This is probably just because the Cowboys are playing and everybody wants to talk about the Cowboys. There are rumors all over tonight that Minkah Fitzpatrick is that guy that they're trading for. I don't know what to tell you. But I like the strategy because you're like, why would anybody want to come here anyway and figure out, oh wow, this is why we lose. At least they're going after guys that are already on shitty teams too. Trey Hendrickson plays for the worst defense in football. There's actually one team worse than Dallas at defense, and it's the Bengals. Max Crosby realizes he's never going to win ever in Vegas.
Ever.
Might as well lose on America's team and get more clicks and have more Q rating and get more endorsements out of it.
Right.
You go to Dallas because you become way more popular, and you can make a lot more money if you handle your business. That's why you don't mind going to Dallas.
I forgot. Are they still doing the Manning cast? I have not watched it all year.
They did it tonight. I think Barkley.
See, I should have watched that.
It'd have been better.
Only because it makes these type of games better.
Yeah, well, I like the
Manning cast.
I don't get to watch Troy a lot. I don't watch every Monday night game, so I got to see Troy and his gigantic hands.
What is up with that? But he could throw a wet ball.
His hands are the size of Kawhi Leonard's. I don't know.
They're bigger than Joe Buck's face.
He's the third most accurate passer in the history of the game. But yeah, he struggled with a wet ball. I don't know.
Who cares? Yeah,
psychological. He struggled to 3 championships. I feel bad for Dak. I do.
Me too, especially on the 12th anniversary of his mother passing. They go out there. They go out there. They go out there and lay a big old goose egg.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I know he wasn't great tonight, but he's the last of the concerns. You know, I'm not going to sweat a little bit of dust in the kitchen floor.
No, me neither.
When the roof's on fire and there's a skunk on the back porch and the chimney just fell over. I can sweat a little dust in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Dak is the least.
For sure.
All right. So here's what we're taking tomorrow off. And we're going to be back on Wednesday. Tomorrow's election day. It is trade deadline day. We'll see what Jerry did, even if he did anything. And so when we get back in here on Wednesday at 10 a.m. for In the Building, God knows what the world will look like. Will this city vote for Project Marvel? Will the Cowboys make trades to better their defense? They'll overreact and knee-jerk to all of it. Wednesday night we got Spurs and Lakers. At least the Spurs are worth watching again, and it's been a while. So I appreciate it, everybody. It's a late night. It sucks when they get their ass kicked the way they did. And a lot of people watching. Highly appreciate that. Thanks to Jose Bouquet. Thanks to Rudy. And so tomorrow we're taking election day off. We'll be back in here on Wednesday on the channel at 10 a.m. Okay. We're going to replay this post-game show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Just
for the sorry asses that didn't stay up with us.
For the sorry asses that had better things to do than listen to us rant about how terrible the Cowboys are. Maybe they made the wise decision. They'll be more apt to watch it tomorrow when they've had sleep. All right, guys. Thanks, man. We did 3 shows today.
Damn.
Not bad. Not bad. I expect the views to be fat today. So it's a well-deserved day off tomorrow. See y'all in here on Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. To Price Chevrolet, GC Services Roofing. Back in here on Wednesday. Hasta mañana. Hasta Wednesday. See y'all, lady.
Hasta miércoles.
We gotta keep on doing. You can